Less than 4 weeks later, an even deadlier twister shredded Joplin, Missouri. 2011 is now the 7th deadliest tornado year on record, surpassing 1920. So are there steps that folks in tornado-prone areas can take to protect themselves and their families? Joining us now is Julie Rochman. She is the president and CEO of the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety. So let's get you to answer that question, Julie. Are there steps that people could take in Tornado Alley, much the same as we've seen them take in Florida to protect against hurricanes, that can protect their homes, their properties against tornadoes?
John, that's a really good question. And the main point we want to make is that wind, to some extent, is wind. Whether it's a coastal windstorm, it's a thunderstorm that comes up very quickly, with or without a tornado involved. High wind speeds, if you want to protect your home against high wind speeds, you need to tie the structure together. You need to make sure that the roof is held down by more than gravity, that the walls are tied together, and that the house is tied to the foundation. What you see in tornadoes and hurricanes oftentimes is either the entire roof lifted off and moved down the road, or a house pushed off its foundation. This is because the structure isn't tied together well and isn't anchored to the foundation.
Now, we should point out that you've got this amazing test facility in South Carolina. We've got some video from it that's nothing short of incredible. The house on the left, if you take a look at this video, is a typical construction. The house on the right has had some enhanced construction, tying, Julie, as you said, the roof to the upper floor to the lower floor, and the lower floor to the foundation. You look at the one on the left here, these winds are about 100 miles an hour, a little more than 100 miles an hour. It just completely comes apart. And the one on the right is completely intact. And you've got to ask yourself, how much does it cost to have that fortified construction?
Well, in this case, the difference between these two houses that we had in our test chamber was about $3,000. Does not cost a lot of money relative to the entire cost of the house to perform much better in a wind. As you mentioned, these are winds of about 100 miles an hour. So whether it's an EF 0, 1, or 2 tornado, it's a thunderstorm, it's a moderate-sized hurricane, we can engineer buildings to withstand wind speeds of 110, 120 miles an hour and emerge unscathed.
So I assume then in states like Missouri and Kansas that get a lot of tornadoes, there are building codes that demand that people build to those specifications?
Well, actually, Missouri is one of the 13 states in this country that does not have a statewide building code. We hope that out of the tragedies this spring, states will learn and they will do better and they will enact statewide building codes. It's one of the things that happened in Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina came through, is that Louisiana, unlike Mississippi and Alabama, actually enacted a statewide building code.
Right. And we should point out, though, that while these enhanced building techniques could protect you against maybe up to an F2 tornado, you get something like F3, F4, F5 as they had in Joplin. There's really nothing you can do.
That's true. In those cases, you want to be in a safe space. You want to go to a storm shelter, a designated storm shelter, or have a safe room built into your house. But if you don't have the time to get to a shelter and you don't have a safe room, get to a ground floor or basement interior space with no windows around you.
All right. Julie Rochman from the Institute for Business and Home Safety this morning. Julie, thanks so much, and a good Memorial Day to you as well.
Thank you, John.
Hey, John, he made a name for himself in Utah, that is for sure. And with